Stupid.
All the answers you need to know. Watch now, the Internet Tech Show. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. My computer rebooted or did a Windows update or whatever, and nothing works. Audio doesn't work. I had one of my monitors working. There's always something. There's always something going on. These sort of problems can really like mess up a show, and I'm not thinking about our show because our show is like no budget and
I started
very
saying,
little talent. If I'm honest,
if there were sponsors losing ad time, it might be a little more stressful. But
yeah.
Hey, it's all right. What's up, dude?
Well, I kind of want to veer onto this topic, but before we go too far, today's episode is I don't recall, which we're gonna hear that in a little bit.
Weird title.
But this thing with the technical gremlins, I kind of want to like push on this just a second. Yesterday on my way home, every day when I come home, I get up and do this show, and then I drive an hour to work, an hour or more, and then I work like all day doing whatever I do, and then I come home. I start leaving about 6:30 at night, and usually about 7:30 when I get home. And during my drive, just like many other Americans, you listen to a podcast or you listen to whatever audiobooks, things like that. Well, very often I listen to Timcast IRL, and last night the notification came up for Timcast IRL that said might be the last show, and at first it was like, wow, what's going on there? Because Timcast IRL is maybe you guys don't watch it, but it is it's a big program on YouTube, and it's mostly on YouTube. And I mean, they have Congress people on, they have major political figures on, they have major culture war kind of figures on routinely. But when Tim Pool went to his studio yesterday morning to do his morning show, apparently the graphics card was fried, and it just launched him into a death spiral for his show, which is weird to say that, like, a graphics card. Okay, so the problem is this: for his morning show, it's just Tim and a camera, just like us on a camera. But for his IRL show, it's a whole crew. They got film guys, they got guys at the keyboards, they got people, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. And his company, his show has gotten so big, and it's so much to manage. But the people that work for him have gotten super complacent, and they just don't care that much. And so in order for the show to happen, Tim has to do everything and a lot of other people's jobs too. And he's just gotten to the point. So can you guys relate to that? I'm sure you can. You can.
I don't call it a podcast. I call it ministry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dave wears like 1,000 hats just in my radio job, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I always used to make fun of, in Office Space when dude was like, I got 8 bosses. If I make a mistake, I got 8 people that come around and tell me. And I always used to joke that is 1,000% true in radio. If you're a radio jock, you've got a general manager, an operations manager, your production director, your program director, your chief engineer. You got all these bosses over you all the time. And Dave threw me off by leaving. I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But
okay, so you got a lot of bosses, but you also have
wear the hats. So yeah, since COVID and all this and downsizing to technology, I am all of them now. I am all of those.
But that's a lot of overhead burden on you.
Yeah, with no extra pay, no extra compensation.
Yeah, right. Not good. So it's not just about money, though obviously, pay and money is kind of a big thing. It's a lot of stress for you to for a short term, you could do all those jobs and like make it through. But when that short term becomes like indefinite, then
Yeah.
that becomes
That's the key. It becomes
and so
indefinite.
that's
Yeah.
the kind of thing. And I'm kind of like, on one hand, I'm like, well, Tim, fucking nut up and hire a business partner to do the shit that you don't want to do or can't do or aren't doing very well. You know, you want to be the guy on camera, but you also want to be the guy running everything. I mean, okay, fine. But like, there's a limit to every human being has a limit to the amount of things they can do well.
So that's probably a problem with him personally, because I've run into a lot of broadcast professionals that are like that. And let me tell you, I'm kind of like that as well. I don't want to, I want to run the board.
Yeah.
I don't want the guy running the board. I did not like being the sidekick on the morning show because I didn't get to run the board and do I hated that. I wanted to be in control of my voice. I want to produce it. I don't like giving my commercials. Like if somebody's like, will you voice a commercial for me and I'll produce it? No, just give it to me and I'll produce it and I'll put the music and effects and all that stuff on it. I don't want other people doing that. So I understand probably where he's coming from, but you're exactly right about, I have had to, over the years, as I've gotten older, realize this person is so freaking exceptional at doing this more than me. I need to utilize them. I need to give them, you know,
or how about this
seat and let them do this. It's hard for me to do, but I've had to do it.
If your whole business is Timcast IRL, Timcast News, whatever, Tim on camera reading stuff, right? And there's like a bunch of other things that have to happen, like production and cutting video and editing and things like that.
It's not,
even if the guy available to you isn't great at it, but he's good, there's a benefit to you offloading some of that overhead to somebody else.
There is a benefit, but let me tell you the problem that he has, and I think this is an easier way to explain it because I say this all the time, and this instantly came to mind. This is an easier way to look at this. Tim is creating an audio painting. Okay, that's what I say when I get done with the commercial. It's my audio painting because of all the different elements that I put into it. It's my painting. It's my vision. It's what I've heard in my head and changed along the way. And if I give my audio idea to Dave, he's a different artist. Even though he might do the same things and do the same stuff, he is a different artist. He can use the same paint and the same mat and the same brushes, and it's going to be a different result. And I think Tim is probably having a problem with wanting to get rid to add another artist, so to speak.
His current problem is that he's brought people on board, and for a couple of years he's had this team, but the team doesn't have the passion and the drive and the vision that he has.
Yeah. Okay.
So honestly,
we goes hand in hand in that, because if he is a passionate, driven guy and he has a view of this painting, and you've got these artists that are not really wanting and they're not as driven as you.
You can bring people on board that are worse than you or people that are better than you, which kind of goes to you. And some people, unfortunately, want to be top dog. So they'll bring people on that are not as talented.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You need to bring people on that are better than you, and you make yourself look better in the process.
Okay. But his space is basically like YouTube videos. And if you bring somebody on that can make and produce YouTube videos, those people could just be making and producing YouTube videos for themselves.
Exactly.
And get all the
He might have content input. I
Yeah.
mean, just because somebody can make a video doesn't mean that they're going to make money.
Okay.
It's the content, the concept.
And there's a certain kind of like struggle that happens on the creative side, right? Like even around here and us doing this show sometimes. And I know that especially early on, it really irked you, Deacon, because you would be like, you should do a title like this. But I mean, in my mind, I have a way that I want to make titles that it's like, I think it's funny or catchy, or I want to make a title.
This is a perfect example. The UMCOC podcast. I wanted to produce it because I wanted to know, I had the vision of what it sounded like in my head. And I tried a couple of things, and you tried a couple of things. Remember when you put everybody in left and right channels and stuff on that one? God.
Yes. You didn't like that?
No, I did not like it.
was trying to make it like we were sounding around the table.
I know, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And anyway, that was like an audio painting that I always wanted to do and put together. And that's why when everybody was like, I can do it, I'm like, no, it's not going to sound right. It's not going to sound like, and so, yeah, if you were to give me, I would have the formatting of this show very different than what we
Right.
do it. And I've told
could you be-
Ashley this
could you be
before. I'm
more
like,
successful.
yeah, I'm like, I'll let JJ be the host. No, I let JJ be the host and do all this because I do it all the time. And I like being but it's hard. It was hard for me at first to.
Yeah. Take your hands off the wheel a little
It
bit.
really was really hard at me at first
Do
because
you ever watch late night TV at all?
no, not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Right. I will occasionally catch stuff. Usually it's in the post, but like Conan O'Brien, he's one of my favorites.
Who?
He had Conan O'Brien.
Oh yeah.
Coco.
Coco, yeah. He has over 182 staff members. And mostly people just know Conan and Andy. Even though Andy isn't, I don't think Andy's with him anymore. I don't know.
I don't think so.
John Oliver, who I don't care what you think about him. I think he's pretty smart in the way
He's
he
a smart,
approaches
funny
things.
guy. He's just
Um,
crazy man, but he's a
yeah,
funny,
yeah.
smart guy. He's quick.
Yes. But it's not just him because he has like 40
Yeah.
some odd staff members.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when you see Jimmy Fallon get up and do his monologue, Jimmy Fallon did not write that monologue.
No, he didn't. He's
His
reciting
staff,
jokes.
he might have had some insight into it, but it
I'm
is
sorry.
definitely a team collab.
Well, it's the same thing in radio. I had one of those comedians that was on the Bob and Tom show all the time. Mike Armstrong, he was a comedian. He's my buddy. And he was telling me one time, he was like, Chick McGee has 5 writers in the next room, all with computers. And when they type something on their computer, it appears in a little box on his computer so that I was like, and I told Mike, I was like, if I had 5 writers in a room behind me, I would be a nationally syndicated radio host as well. Because if I can get a host that can deliver it, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone that can deliver the joke in a funny way or deliver the news or something. Because some people can't read and can't deliver and they get nervous. But but they might be funny. I got a lot of friends that are absolutely hilarious that would not get behind this microphone at all. So yeah.
Well,
I'm sure Tim's got.
yeah, I just, I find myself like a little bit, I have a mix of kind of feelings about it. And I realize like, who cares about this? Okay, well, listen, I love watching this show because there's guests and there's people from all over places that I would never normally interact with. And, it's kind of like a good mix of influences. And the fact that Tim is willing to just give it all up because it's like because it's a lot. It's a tremendous amount of work on him. I mean, a lot. I mean, he's working 16-hour days for like 5 years or something.
But he's not doing it like we are and not getting paid. He's getting paid,
yeah, he's getting paid. And so like, and his
if
thing
we were
is like,
making money off this
just
show,
bring
don't
in,
think
like,
that I wouldn't.
a hatchet man, CEO, axe guy that just like tells people to do their job or get out of here. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you do. I'm sorry, like your business is not going to run on the well wishes that you imagine that people are just going to be cool and do work. Like
I was told one time to run a successful business. This is an old country phrase. You got to have a son of a bitch in the wood pile. You do. You gotta have an asshole.
Because if
So,
this is
according-
okay, Dave, here we go. My
It's a weird
fundamental construction of the human people are that they are not good. They're not good. Okay. Now you can think, oh, some people are good. There's good people. Okay, fine. Well, like whatever. But fundamentally, people are not good. And here is a great way that it is
I don't know if I agree with that.
demonstrated. If you have people with minimal supervision in a job, eventually some of those people are gonna be like,
Statistically,
Is
yeah,
that- Is that
absolutely.
the person, or is that what they've been taught?
Right. Is that what
I
they've
don't.
been
I
taught?
don't
Because
think people
initially,
are fundamentally good
yeah,
or
I
bad.
think
They are
people,
fundamentally a blank slate.
yeah, people, yeah, I agree with that. People are fundamentally a blank slate.
I've never met a blank slate.
Well, no, because you are learning from the minute you take your first breath.
Okay.
You're
So
learning.
you have
All right. So extrapolate that. Are you suggesting then that you could start with a person that's a blank slate and teach them perfectly and they would be good? Because I don't think so.
that you could
They-
teach them and they would be good. I'm not going to say perfectly.
They wouldn't-
Yeah, I think you can definitely
But-
train
but-
a person to be good. You can train a person to be
But
bad.
Are
I
they
think
going to
we-
have? Are they going to have those bad thoughts as a good person? Absolutely. That's being a human.
I'm not even talking
Yeah.
about like violent crime or murder or anything like that. I'm
No,
talking
no, I
about
would-
cheating. I'm talking about just
Sure.
low integrity
Yeah.
or
Do they-
path
how do
of
they
least
cheat, though?
resistance.
do they
Yeah.
cheat because they want to cheat, or do they cheat because they see it benefits the system that they're put in?
No, they cheat because people's natural impulse is to do whatever they want.
No,
To do whatever.
it's
no,
I
not.
don't
people-
think that's it.
Okay, let me rewind this. Every choice that you make, and you can argue this, every choice that you make in life is you doing what is your greatest desire, your greatest impulse. And
No.
then backfilling it with logic or rationale.
I do
Not
believe
mine.
that does happen. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is it's the system that's around you. So like talking about cheating, right? A student cheats because they want to get a better grade.
Correct. That's what they want most.
That's because that's the system. Why do they even need a grade?
Right. So if you
That- that-
explain
that-
to that
it's
student, that student doesn't realize that by cheating to get the better grade, what you're cheating is yourself, because that test is to test your knowledge. You see, we do not have a society of deep thinkers. We have a society of
Correct.
surface thinkers.
100%. If
And
that,
most
think
people
people
do
think.
not think deeply and ask those deep questions like, why am I being graded on this? What is the test all about? The test is to see if you, JJ, know what you're supposed to know that we have been talking about. And if you don't, and you
And
get
I
a
would-
bad grade on the test, you've cheated yourself. You don't
That's
know
true.
what we've tried to tell you.
I would say
That's-
the purpose of the test has nothing to do with that. It's to determine if you can follow directions or not. To be a good
and
worker.
that, and to get money from the state and the government, and to do this and to help. And it's so many things now that the whole base concrete foundation of testing is so far
Okay.
down that it doesn't even get noticed anymore.
You did this.
So I guess it all comes back down to kind of like it. Why do you need a manager if people can be good?
Because statistically, you're not going to have every single body good. That's why when somebody talks about utopian society, I'm like, there will never. That is a farcical.
Why?
That is that will never ever happen, because mathematically that will never happen.
Why do
Never.
universities on average need more administrators than professors?
Need? I'm not sure they need that.
They
It's
have
in the
them.
budget, and then the budget's like, oh, geez, we have these expenses. We need
Do you
to.
see what's going on with student education though and cost?
Yeah.
I got a senior in college right now, and he's wanting to go to a college that is $60,000 a year.
Where
and
are you
I'm
gonna
just
find
like-
$60,000, buddy? 'Cause I
He
ain't
might
got
have a full ride. He might have a full ride.
Oh, okay.
So if he has a full ride, you can go, buddy. Go enjoy.
Yeah, you do whatever you can talk them into doing. All right, guys, let's do some new stuff. As I'm gonna show the title one more time. The title of today's episode, I don't recall. So our boy Nathan Wade is in the news, and some transcripts from his I guess testimony have been released. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love. I mean, when I say
You're gonna
love,
love
I mean,
it. You're gonna
I
love
love
this.
it.
You're gonna
I'm
love
gonna
it.
think it's
I'm
hilarious.
gonna love it. You're gonna
Allow
love
me
it.
to share some transcripts with you here. Here we have some questions.
Got a big name on screen.
Mr. Wade, turning back to this invoice number 8, we're working off the travel. It says travel to Athens, conference with White House counsel, May 23, 2022. Do you remember meeting with the White House counsel in May of 2022? I don't. You have no recollection of meeting with anyone from the White House counsel office? I don't. It says travel to Athens. Did the meeting take place in Athens? The invoice says travel to Athens, so that means to me I traveled to Athens. This dude is not admitting anything. Okay, hold on. I'll tell you why this is important in a second. So after the word travel to Athens, that's a semicolon. Which means that we're going into a new thought. So if you build for a conference with the White House counsel, would that have occurred? If I build for a conference with the White House counsel, this document doesn't say that the conference with the White House counsel happened in Athens. That's not what this says. Okay, but I'm asking because you said if it says travel to Athens, then you would have billed for travel to Athens. Is that correct? That's correct. And if it says conference with White House counsel, would you have billed with the conference with the White House counsel? Yes. And so if you build for it completing on May 23rd, 2022, do you believe that it's that's likely to have occurred? No, I don't believe it.
What? The-
Nathan Wade, in his own and this goes on for a couple of pages of I don't recall. Nathan Wade met with White House counsel on I think 2 different occasions prior to the case against Trump. Nathan Wade, lead prosecutor for Fani Willis, and also her bedroom battle buddy.
He was in the video, in that one video with the police pulled over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Deke played that one.
Yeah.
Nathan Wade colluded with the White House to try to keep Donald Trump out of the election. This is evidence. These documents are evidence. His own billing invoices and his testimony about those invoices are evidence that Nathan Wade met with the White House in anticipation of prosecuting Trump for Georgia election interference on behalf of Fani Willis in her office. So here is like another page. But this is the one that matters. Is it safe to assume, since you billed for a conference with White House counsel, that you attended this conference with the White House counsel? Yes. Okay. Do you remember if it was a person or by telephone? I don't recall. I don't recall. And if you don't recall, how would that committee figure it out? Would we get your notes? Anyway, so guys, I'm sure you're shocked to learn that Fani Willis's team was conspiring for election interference.
No comment.
That's a callback. That was a callback. That was a brilliant callback, and you missed it. I don't know.
Sorry, I missed that.
No comment.
Okay. Guys, I guess I thought that was way more amusing than you guys.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I'm sorry. Am I thinking out loud?
You said the quiet
All right.
part.
I said the quiet part.
Hey, Dave, did you
Yes.
did you see Kamala Harris because you weren't here yesterday? Did you see Kamala Harris over the weekend? She had some strong thoughts about Christians. Did you?
No clue. No.
You don't know what happened?
No, I really don't.
So they were having she was having a rally at a church. Was it a church? It was a big mega church or something.
No, it wasn't a church, but it was a rally. And some Christian protester, I don't think it was a church. She subsequently, after that, she did go to a church, to a black church to try to redeem her image a little bit. Let me pull the video up, Dave, because since you haven't seen it.
Yeah, this is interesting. I would really like to get.
You're gonna love it.
If you want
no comment on it.
No comment on it. Yeah, and when you say it, you could be like, no comment or no comment. You start putting inflection in the words, and we can tell. Oh, okay. Like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Hang on. Here we go.
It's a real short clip. It's just her talking.
It's not very long. It's not very long. Here we go.
Some people are shouting in the background.
Yeah, and you're not going to hear the inciting comment, but we'll tell you what it was in a second. Here we go.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
That was her response to what was shouted. She waves, a little smart ass smile wave. Look at that little smart ass look she's got on her face.
No,
I'm
I
saying this.
think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Look, there's her little jab joke. Look, and then she come on, she throws it away. She's still laughing, a little smirking like she's in Mean Girls. All right, do you know what those people, those two college students were saying was Jesus?
Here's another view. Hold on. Here's another view.
Okay.
Hang on. Same hall, same rally, just moments before. Christ is King. Jesus is Lord. Oh,
And then that was
I think
her
you're at the
response.
wrong rally. Kamala Harris, and then the whole crowd whoops. Kamala Harris got into a bunch of hot water for basically throwing Christians out of her rally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we put a
And
pin
then
in
we-
this till November 6th?
Yep.
Day after the okay, no comment.
Hang on, I want to show another one here. No one has a comment on this, but we will just recap this.
I want to research that one a little bit more though.
Yeah. Hang on, look at this.
Dave,
one.
if you were following me on Twitter, you would be aware of this because
Dude, I stay off of Twitter, or I stay off of X.
Twitter is the best.
I occasionally get tagged and I'll show up in either one of my accounts.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
so Kamala.
Oh, you got crap.
are you
I thought I
playing
was
something?
playing the video.
Oh,
Hang on, it automatically plays. I gotta move the crap over at the bottom and do 9 million different things. I'm not
here,
a
I
motor.
got you.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
All right, here you go.
With The View, and they say, what is one thing that you would have done differently than Joe Biden during your time in office? And she said, nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind.
Well, that's not the one. I thought it was like right here.
There you go. That's one right there.
This.
In rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king. And I don't think that we've seen,
That's a different way to go.
I don't think that we've seen anything like this.
So there's one. Here's another one.
Well, I love Jesus. Thank you, ma'am. It's always good to have that reminder. Jesus does love every single one of us, and that's an important thing. God bless you.
So we're just comparing
Yeah.
these major
I
politicians when
won't
people
say
shout.
anything for or against any politic or politician that's running, but I will say, yeah, Jesus is king.
Yeah. So you'd agree to that, and you would not say.
I'm not talking about
hearing
politics. I'm
somebody
talking about
say
Jesus.
Jesus is king. Just throw them out of your rally.
I don't
If
have
you were-
rallies.
If you were giving a conference on Marvel Contest of Champions and your Gears playing, and you had like 50
Batman
people in
is
the
king.
room, and someone yelled out "Jesus is King," interrupting you, would you have them thrown out, and would you like mock?
No, I would probably say, why don't we have Jesus as a comic book character? Wait, never mind. I know what y'all would do with that. No, let's go with this. Jesus is king. And I would probably go on with that. That would probably be my train of thought that would vomit out in the middle of the conversation. Rob Liefeld had started to do a Jesus comic book series years ago, and you can Google and find some of the images. It was Jesus Christ Zombie King. And I was very interested because it deals with some small scriptures that are thrown in that talk about people rising from the dead when Jesus was killed. And I'm just like, that could be really interesting. I want to read this, Rob. Come on, Rob, you blocked me on Twitter or X. No, you blocked me on Twitter way back then. So if you're watching this show now,
Yeah, he
dude,
does.
unblock me. You know I love you. I'm a huge fan.
Are you
do
blocked
that
by Rob
series.
Liefeld?
Was
He
I don't
blocks
know what I
everybody.
did.
He blocks
I did.
everybody.
I'm a huge fan of his.
If you said
I'm a
I really
defender of
didn't
his.
like X Force that much, he would have probably blocked
He's
you.
very sensitive, especially if you say anything
Very
about feet. He
I never like I'm a Liefeld fan.
Well, you should feel fine, Dave, because I'm a Liefeld fan and have been since the beginning, and I blocked him on Twitter.
I can't believe you blocked Rob Liefeld.
He's a moron.
right.
I don't want to see his leftist garbage.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
Yes,
I don't
he
read his
is.
Politics.
All right. I don't get that impression.
If he
but-
would post comic book stuff, I would still look at his stuff, but I don't want to read your stupid opinion.
All right. So we got some other news. Let's see. Well, what I wanted to talk about was here it is. Voters in Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee are currently reporting that voting machines are flipping their selections. So yesterday was the first day to vote in Texas. So I don't know.
Vote.
Or somewhere. I've already voted. I've done my vote. Go Texas. And I don't know how things work in your areas, guys, but the way they work, at least in where I vote, is you go up to this machine with a piece of paper, you stick the paper in, you push a bunch of buttons on the machine, and then it sucks the paper in and prints your stuff out. And then you look at it and then go scan it in. That's how. So you go from one station to the next. So you type, it prints it out, you take it over and you stick it in the thing. Well, some people in Texas and maybe Georgia or whatever are reporting that they push all the buttons on the machine and it prints it out. And shockingly, the candidate that they chose for president is not the one printed on their paper ballot, which is totally unbelievable.
I've seen videos of it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple, but now if you've only see a couple, right? Like this is the way I look at it. If you see a couple and it's just a couple guys, and you're like, it came out wrong. My mind is like, yeah, maybe, or you push the wrong button, and like, you know,
Or
possibly,
maybe you push the
highly
right button
likely
and you don't want to acknowledge what you did. You want to make it look like, yeah.
yeah. So
Are you going to believe everybody and what they say?
Or the
I don't-
stockholders that hold money in the machines that in the company that makes the voting machines have put some sort of something in the damn machine to do what they want it to do, because they have much more vested interest in political stuff than the average American stupid voter that has the stupid right to vote. But it is so easy. Did you watch the one video of the election official in like Georgia or somewhere who was like a good person, but she was showing how easy it was? Like if you didn't vote for a certain, if you just left it blank, she got to choose what it
that
was.
video up if you see it, but
I
like,
don't remember.
I don't know if that's a new video or an
It
old
was
video.
on
But
X.
I saw it. Yeah. Let me pull up here. I got
Do
this
these
is a
people
video
not
from
think
a
these-
guy in
this stuff
Texas.
is hackable. Look up the elections in Myanmar in 2020. What happened in 2020 in the elections in Myanmar that was
I don't know.
using the same
I don't
voting?
know anything
Listen,
about
no,
Myanmar.
let me tell you, they were using the same voting machines that we were. The general that was running or whatnot that had gotten beat basically took over Myanmar and found out that they had been cheated with their voting machines. Look it up.
I don't know anything about Myanmar. Here,
I
here
just
we go.
voted in the White Settlement election.
All
I
right.
voted for one president, checked it on the video screen. When I got the paper ballot, it had the other candidate's name on it. Check your paper ballots, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
So here's another guy. So these guys are up in
White Settlement,
here.
White Settlement Library in Fort Worth. I was in line for about 45
So
minutes.
I guess this is an example of what happens if you type it in and it prints it out for you. So, but here's these couple of guys. Now, it's possible that they messed up, and it's very possible that there's bad code on a voting machine. Both of those things are very possible. Okay, hang on. I'm getting a phone call. Hang on.
Dave, I thought I had one really. Oh, I do have one really cool story. If
Right.
I'm not moderator, so I can't bring up the story.
You didn't get promoted. I didn't get promoted either. You could tell me about it.
Look, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with JJ.
Yeah, I'm rip bleeding here.
I'm very
Oh, I
intrigued.
can't believe I
by-
forgot that.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what we're seeing.
Lily, show us, Lily.
It locked up. Earrings.
There it is.
She got earrings. Yay! That's so much
Yeah.
fun. Awesome. I'm proud of you.
All right.
Yay! I remember when mine
Yeah.
and other things, noses.
All right. Yeah, my little girl is 6 years old. She turned 6 over the weekend, and she just went to the doctor and got her ears pierced.
So in 10 years, prepare for the mom, dad, I want to get my septum pierced. I want to get my nose pierced over here or right here. Kendra wanted to get this, and Ashley was like, absolutely not. And Kendra kept asking her. Ashley was like, absolutely not. And Kendra was 17. And Kendra wrote a letter, like wrote out why she felt she should be able to do this. And it was so freaking eloquent, mature, and adultish that we decided to let her do it because it was so great. It was such an adult way to do things that we were like, okay, all right.
We
didn't agree with it.
Like that.
Yeah, we didn't agree with it. But it's,
I'm not gonna say yes though. I'm gonna be like, this is very
all right.
cool.
Make me a moderator. I got a cool story for you. You're gonna like this
Yeah.
one.
Here.
How do you think we get satellites into orbit?
Chase.
When you say orbit, are you implying that the Earth is not flat?
Oh, don't start questioning crap. Yes, the Earth is Jesus. How do you think, that's a lot of rocket fuel to get them up into orbit. It's a lot of cost to get a satellite into orbit, and there's a lot of satellites up there, right?
Yeah.
We're coming up with a new way. Okay.
Okay.
It's called centrifugal
I was
force.
right.
Centrifugal
world?
force. Yes, I'm scrolling on the wrong screen. Look at that thing. They put
hell
I see the
yeah.
guy cranking it.
Amazing.
that arm spins and spins and spins and slings the satellite into space. No kidding.
You know, there's a failed test in this, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And the first thing I thought of was the pumpkin chunking. And that's what it says in the first sentence, is capturing attention with its innovative satellite launch system, especially from enthusiasts in the pumpkin chunking community. So they had a video here, but I started watching the video and it froze up on me.
Concept or is it actual? Because that building looks fake.
I think it's actual. They're actually, hang on, let me get past all this crap.
This looks like a sales pitch.
I'm sure it's what it is. It's a 3-minute long video of
Loading
so
a missile.
obviously loading this satellite into the thing, and it's showing you how everything works. Okay, here we go. How long is this?
It's more slingshotty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Launch it. Do it.
You know what?
Well, that's pretty cool, man.
That is super cool.
That is pretty super cool.
Until it gets hacked, and they just let it release like 1 microsecond late.
So if if they have that like that, they have shit that will like.
Okay, so that thing's using like magnets to drive a motor super fast, and then angular momentum and out into space. Why can't they
it doesn't use it uses electricity, is what it said. It does use electricity.
Electricity and magnets are the
Yeah.
motors.
Electromagnets.
Motors are made of electricity and magnets.
Yeah.
So why can't they just use electricity and magnets to make a railgun and just poof shoot it like that?
Because I'm sure it would be a lot less energy to use the already gravity and
How big would that railgun have to be, too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You already have this. You already have this natural physics thing that we can utilize. So let's utilize it and add what we need to it. It works.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Awesome. It's pretty awesome. I thought
It's kind of cool, except like it's like it has to be exactly correct all the time. There's no error, because if you launch it a microsecond late, you've destroyed the entire building.
How long has it been, or how long do you think it's going to be before we're launching manned vehicles from
It's
something
not possible. Not like that.
so?
No.
The G-force on the human?
G-force would.
Yeah. We would have to
Unless
have
we can find a way to overcome the G-force.
Not only the G-force, but also you're gonna have, because of the rotation, you have centripetal force. So you're even if you could withstand the momentum of being rotated, you're being pulled outward.
Yeah.
Can't
mess somebody up.
I mean, when we launch rockets into space, you have to achieve escape velocity, but we have like
So how
I don't
long?
know,
How long before
how many
we launch
thousands of feet, and the
Optimus?
rocket accelerates, so it's going faster as it goes.
We're gonna put
but
an
it
army of
doesn't-
Optimus in the air.
What?
An army of Optimus
Op-
robots. The
No, we
Tesla
put-
robots.
We put Megatron in the air.
Optima.
Optimus on the ground.
Is it Optimi? How many? What's multiple?
Actually,
Optimus?
Starscream and Starscream is the one that's going to be in the air.
He should literally just
fire.
he should like trademark like Autobots, like auto dash bots.
I'm sure that's probably
so.
already trademarked.
Just-
JJ.
He'll
Okay.
probably have to go with something generic like GoBots or something.
What time is it?
I loved the GoBots.
We got a few minutes left. Okay.
I got one more cool story, but it's nerdy.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know that the Earth, since we were talking about magnets, the Earth has a magnetic field. The Earth generates a magnetic field,
Yes.
positive and negative, and it does flip. And they use that. Oh, it's gonna flip. It's gonna flip. Well, they're pretty sure that the Earth's magnetic field dramatically flipped about 40,000 years ago, and they think they have the sound of what it sounds like. So this is generated by swirling liquid metals in our planet's core. Earth's magnetic field reaches tens of thousands of kilometers into space. I was trying to find where it was talking about this. I haven't read this story in a while, but here I'm going to bring up the sound of what they think it sounds like when the Earth's magnetic field flips.
It sounds like somebody digging through their trunk drawer.
I'm ready for the roller coaster to go over.
Yeah, it sounds like a roller coaster. Sounds like wood. Now it sounds like a predator.
Oh no! Now the blue's on the bottom, the red's
Well,
on top.
Well, when the magnetic
wow.
poles, if the magnetic poles shifted and it was just shifted today, all compasses would point south.
Right.
So I was just thought that was cool. I kept that. And it was an interesting article. I read it like 3 weeks ago. Recent magnetic field anomalies like the weakening over Atlantic Ocean have led to questions about an impending reversal today, but recent research suggests that these anomalies are not necessarily connected to flipping events. The South Atlantic anomaly is, however, exposing satellites in the area to higher levels of radiation. Since 2013, ESA's Swarm constellation has been measuring magnetic signals from Earth's core, mantle, crust, oceans, ionosphere, and magnetosphere so that we can better understand our planet's geomagnetic field and predict its fluctuations.
That video is cool.
The little
So-
flippy.
Magnetic.
Yeah,
The
it's
poles of
almost
the magnetic poles flipping is like not uncommon.
No.
It happens on the sun like all the time. Like
Yeah.
every I think it's like every 11 months or
Yeah,
something.
but we don't live on the sun.
Sure. How do you know?
I think
had
okay, so
Yeah.
there's also like there's no problem if the north is the south and the south is the north in terms of our electromagnetic field. It's just while it's down or while it's rotating, it's not as effective, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna let more radiation through.
You want to see a ghost video to wrap things up today, JJ, and
Yeah,
laugh?
see a ghost video,
All right.
please. You did a
Here's,
great job today, guys.
watch this.
Oh, smoke.
Doesn't look like smoke to me.
No,
Looks like
it's not
somebody's
smoke.
arm with a cue ball or a cue.
Yeah,
Double
yeah, it looks
exposure.
like
Yeah,
it looks like a superimposed video.
cue. They're leaning over to shoot at the ball, and then they disappear. They back out of the frame. So yeah, it looks like a superimposed video.
That's not a ghost.
It might be. How do you know?
It's not a ghost.
How do you know it's not a ghost?
Oh, I forgot to show you this. We talked about this yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to play it because you went to cool stuff before I got to do this story. So I'm going to do it last. For the first time, Decision Desk HQ is saying Donald Trump
Why are
has
they
a
dancing on
52
No
chance.
comment. No comment.
Donald Trump, for the first time, has a 52% chance to win, according to Decision Desk HQ.
Just-
All right.
no, I don't want it to look like I'm endorsing somebody because I'm not.
So hold up your no comment sign then, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not at my office.
You need to be on. You need to be on the top.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know how to do
Guys, let's do jokes. I told you I was going to do that yesterday, Beacon. I
forgot.
on screen.
that. He didn't. He wasn't going to put it on you. He was going to put it on screen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You just happen to be here.
That's
Let's
a
see.
nasty one.
That's a nasty one. You have.
I do not have admin rights right
All right.
now, so I can't do squat.
I got a Halloween-ish joke here, guys. Why don't skeletons ride roller coasters?
They got no guts.
They don't have the stomach for it.
You told that one. You told that one the other day.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did,
You
because
tell
I
him?
was sitting here thinking he just told this
I
one.
didn't know.
Because I said the same thing that Dave did. They ain't got no guts.
Mm.
You need to.
Yeah, mine can be Halloween-esque related because this movie takes place at Halloween. What is ET short for?
I don't know. Extraterrestrial.
No, it's because he has short legs.
Eddie
Oh my
Torres.
God, no.
He's short for
That's
his
a
short
nasty
legs.
one.
All right. So I don't have a Halloween joke. I'm telling Chuck Norris jokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope,
All right.
I don't want any part of that.
So I'm going through Chuck Norris jokes for a while. Did you know that Chuck Norris farted once?
Did he?
Yeah. It was in the Sahara forest.
That's good. That's good. All right. Thanks for hanging out, folks. We'll be back
That's
tomorrow.
nasty.
Rumble.com/internet dads. Anything else? Did you have something else?
That's a nasty one.
That's a nasty one. It's terrible. Awful.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay or a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the Squid Mom.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's on the way.
Oh, no.
Us tomorrow is the day.
I figured out that I can't do two videos at the same time. Bye, everybody.
I thought UPS was pulling in.